Welcome back to the lecture series on repertories. Today we are going to see the philosophical background of Kant, Btpb and Bbcr repertories. First we will see the philosophical background of Kant's repertory. Dr. Kant was not satisfied with the repertories available during his time. He severely criticized the faulty method of giving importance to parts and overgeneralizing of symptoms, and favored the selection of symptoms on the basis of generals. As a master of mathematics, he noticed that particulars do not fall in line with generals in all cases, and he emphasized the importance of generals. He said that in order to understand a person, his expression at the level of generals must be noted and relied upon. Kant has always given importance to general symptoms because a man can be understood by his expression at the level of general symptoms. He said, man is prior to the organ, man is the will and the understanding, and the house which he lives in is his body. What is expressed on the part is always preceded by a deviation in the state of health of a person. Such deviations can be known through expression at the level of generals. Kant's repertory is based on the philosophy of deductive logic, that is from generals to particulars. So here generals are dealt with in detail, followed by particulars and minute peculiars. If a case is worked out from particulars, only frequent failures may result. This is due to the fact that the particular direction in which the remedies in general rubric has not been observed, and thus to depend upon a small group of remedies is to shut out other remedies which may have that symptom although not yet observed. In each, the general symptom should be considered first and then particulars. In many cases, particulars alone won't give a complete picture. By working out a case in the other direction, like generals to particulars, the general rubric will include all the remedies that are related to the symptom, and if after having done this the particulars are gone into and the remedy which run through the general rubric is found to have the particular symptom, this will aid in the choice of the remedy to be prescribed. Now we will see the philosophical background of Btpb, Boehninghausen's therapeutic pocketbook. While studying the symptomatology in homeopathic mathematics, Boehninghausen realized many difficulties with regard to symptoms. He found many symptoms recorded incompletely, and very often the incomplete part was relating to their modalities. He emphasized more on completing the symptoms with all their components. Bonninghausen held that a symptom should be completed so that it fits into totality. A complete symptom, according to him, consists of following components. First, location, sensation, modalities, and concomitants. This is a concomitant. This is not an essential component, but its presence would immensely help to individualize the case. Along with the other three components mentioned above, there exist some expressions which are not directly related to the symptom, but such expressions appear and disappear with the complaints. They are the expressions of the individual, and thus they deserve prime importance in the study of the symptoms and disease. Very often, patients forget to mention concomitants because they do not consider them worthy of being mentioned. These unexplainable attendants of any case help to differentiate one case from another, one remedy from another, and are called concomitants. Concomitants are often divisible into three components like location, sensation, and modalities. Bonninghausen's attempt was to complete the symptom, but in practice he found it difficult to do so. Therefore, he evolved the concept that what is true to the part is also true to the whole of the person. The following fundamental concepts form the bedrock of his therapeutic pocket book. Now we will see the important things. Doctrine of analogy, doctrine of concomitants, evaluation of remedies, and then the fourth one is concordance. Now first is doctrine of analogy. Bonninghausen's analytical mind came to the conclusion that to complete the symptom, the local modalities and the sensations pertaining to one part should also be applied to other parts. Thus, he generalized or he raised local symptoms to a general level, which could be used for the whole person. This principle is also called doctrine of grand generalization or doctrine of analogy. He considered sickness an expression of the whole man, not of the parts. Sickness is expressed through different parts of the person. Thus, all the modalities which are noticed in one part but missing in any other part should be taken as expression of the whole person. His approach solved many difficulties encountered in completing the symptoms, and for a long time a majority of physicians followed this approach. Even today, some physicians adopt this method. However, this approach not serve those cases wherein different parts express different modalities which do not correspond with the person's characteristics. Now we will see the second part. Doctrine of concomitants. Bonninghausen's first identified in each case a group of symptoms along with the main complaint, which in practice were generally overlooked by the patient and unnoticed by the physician. He emphasized that in all cases such group of symptoms exist and they are missed totally because of inadequate observation. Such group of symptoms even appear to be unrelated to the main complaints, but they are quite crucial in individualizing the case as well as the remedy. Master Hahnemann had also stated the importance of the striking, singular, rare and characteristic symptoms, which Boenninghausen described as concomitant symptoms. In fact, the idea of concomitant symptoms has come from Hahnemann's instruction on case taking, where he has emphasized the inquiry of symptoms before, during and after the main complaint. Emphasizing the crucial role of concomitants, Dr. Robert says, the location, sensation and conditions are not enough. The concomitant must be added, that peculiar or accidental features which always exist in every totality, in both patient and remedy, by which it is differentiated from every other case or remedy. The concomitant symptom is to the totality what the condition of aggravation or amelioration is to the single symptom. We'll see the third point. Evaluation of remedies. Boenninghausen was the first to grade the remedies. Many drugs produce the same type of symptoms, but he noticed a difference in the frequency and intensity in the appearance of symptoms. This innovation of grading of drugs he indicated in terms of 5 ranks by the use of different typography in his own repertory. First we'll see these 5 typographies are there. Capital, first one. Capitals to represent 5 marks. Bold to represent 4 marks. Italics to represent 3 marks. Roman to represent 2 marks. Roman in parentheses to represent 1 mark. This gradation is based on frequency and intensity of the appearance of the symptom in provers. 5 marks suggest the symptom to be frequent, confirmed and verified, whereas 1 mark suggests that the symptom is not verified and not confirmed. Hence, its importance is doubtful in practice. Now, 4th point we will see. Concordances. Boenninghausen's keen observant mind noticed that a relationship existed among the medicines. He incorporated a chapter on this subject in his therapeutic pocketbook towards the end. In the earlier editions of the book, he referred to this chapter as Concordance of Remedies. But Allen gave it more comprehensible title, Relationship of Remedies. This chapter discusses the relationship of medicines under the headings head, mind, localities, sensation, glands, bones, skin, sleep and dream, blood, circulation, fever, aggravation, other remedies, antidote and inimicals. Dr. Roberts, while emphasizing the importance of relationship of remedies, writes, some remedies are in harmony with others, some neutral, some inimical. The most similar ones, as a rule, are complementary. They antidote each other's bad effects, follows each other well, and often make up for the deficiencies of others. Now we will see philosophical background of Bbcr repertory. Boenninghausen's pioneering work was in great use during the second half of the 19th century because it was the only work of its kind available to the practitioners. However, with the publication of Kent's repertory was published in 1897. It receded to the backstage. Consequently, Boenninghausen's work as well as his principles were overlooked. Bogart credibly resuscitated Boenninghausen from refining and enriching the fundamentals and recasting the structure and methodology. Bogart, while working on Boenninghausen's repertory, subscribed to the principles of totality of symptoms, which was originally given by Master Hahnemann. He was fully in agreement with the idea of what constitutes a complete symptom, which is studied in relation to four factors: location, sensation, modalities and concomitants. Boger's work, Boenninghausen's characteristics and repertory, is based on the following fundamental concepts. Now, which are these concepts? 1. Doctrine of complete symptoms and concomitants. 2. Doctrine of pathological generals. 3. Doctrine of causation and time. 4. Clinical rubrics. 5. Evaluation of remedies. 6. Fever totality. 7. Concordances. Now we will see the first one. Doctrine of complete symptoms and concomitants. Patient narrates the story and details of the suffering during the clinical interview. All symptoms are not concrete and complete. A complete symptom is that which consists of location, sensation, and modalities. During the interview, unreasonable attendance of main symptoms are also noticed in relation to the time before, during, or after, which are called concomitants. Bogart borrowed the idea of a complete symptom from Boenninghausen's method of erecting a totality, but he improved over it by relating sensation and modalities to specific parts. Thereby, he fairly and squarely made the criticism. In the book, the complete symptoms are well arranged, and it is seldom necessary to do grand generalization regarding sensation and modalities. Concomitants are given greater importance by Bogart in relation to the parts. Second one, doctrine of pathological general. Bogart was not satisfied by merely following the principle of complete symptoms, but he went further to seek general changes in the tissues and parts of the body. Today, with our advanced knowledge of medicine, it is not difficult to understand the importance of pathological generals mentioned by him in the repertory. You will find many pathological generals in sensation and complaints. Pathological generals tell the state of the whole body and its changes in relation to the constitution. They help us to concentrate on more concrete changes to select the similima. The chapter in the book, Sensations and Complaints in General, is full of examples of pathological generals, which include discharges, structural alterations, constitutions, diatheses, etc. The third one, doctrine of causation and time. Bogart has given an adequate place and importance to causation and time of the expressions. Each chapter in the book is followed by time, aggravation. The section on aggravation also contains many causative factors. From his point of view, causation and time factors are more definite and reliable in cases as well as in medicines. In his own practice, he has successfully employed these factors to find out a simillimum in shortest possible time. His other works also substantiate the importance of these factors. In the chapter Choosing the Remedy, he gives importance to the miasmatic cause as well as exciting cause. From Bogart's synoptic key, BSK, a valuable gift to the homeopathic world. It is obvious that his hierarchy in evaluating symptoms was somewhat different from Boenninghausen and Kane. He gives more importance to causation and general modalities, mental and physical, followed by general sensations, pathological generals and physical generals, which hold the key in the remedy as well as in the person. Thus, according to Bogart, they need to be given an adequate place in repertorization. We'll see the fourth point, clinical rubrics. Bogart was not the first person who appreciated the use of clinical conditions in grouping medicines and their use in selecting a remedy in absence of characteristic symptoms in the case. But he was the first one who appreciated and mentioned several clinical conditions which he came across in day-to-day practice, though they should be put to a limited use. They help the physician in cases of advanced pathology, that is gross tissue changes, where he is left without a clear picture because of poor susceptibility. These rubrics are useful to arrive at a group of medicines which can be further narrowed down with the help of modalities and concomitants to select finally the most similar remedy. Now we will see the fifth one, is the evaluation of remedies. Boger followed the same innovation which Boenninghausen introduced in the grading of remedies. He introduced the grading of symptoms into 5 ranks by the use of different typography such as capitals 5 marks, bold 4 marks, italics 3 marks, Roman 2 marks, Roman in parentheses 1 mark, which are rarely used. The gradation is based on frequency of the appearance of symptoms in the provers. Thus, 5-mark medicine are most important and 1-mark medicine is least important. The original gradation of Boenninghausen was only 4. He did not give importance to Roman in parentheses. Now we will see the 6th point, which one is the fever totality. This is the unique contribution of Boger. The arrangement of the chapter on fever is self-explanatory. Each stage of fever is followed by time, aggravation, amelioration, and concomitant. Thus, they help to repertorize any simple as well as complicated case of fever. Now we will see the 7th point, concordances. By including a chapter on concordance, Boger has made the philosophy clearer and practical, though it deals with relationship of remedy of only 125 remedies. Concordances should be worked on the same principle as is followed in therapeutic pocket book. Thank you for listening the lecture on philosophical background of Kane, Btpb and Bbcr repertory. If you like the lecture, then please do subscribe and share. Thank you once again and see you soon with the new video on repertory.